Well, hey guys, and welcome back for another video. Me and my fiance Michael will be reacting to a video that we saw. This woman has 9 children and recently broke up with her fiance. Like, it's tragic to watch.
Be Chrissy. She's a queen.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, and I am back for another video. So I'm going to do a quick car vlog. This is something that is important for me to let you guys know. Just briefly, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail. I don't feel like it's necessary. Just to kind of let you guys know exactly where I stand right now and give you a little bit of update on what's going on with me. Even though I do value my privacy, I still vlog about my life, and I do want to share certain things with you guys. So this will be one of those bonus moments where I'm going to let you guys in and kind of just like have a heart to heart with you guys. And I hope you guys really feel me and you understand where I'm coming from. Really hope that some of you can relate to me, and if you can't, I mean, that's okay too. And yeah, so let's just go ahead and jump right on into it. So I want to go ahead and just make the public announcement that I am no longer engaged and no longer in a relationship. I don't really feel like explaining the reasoning behind the breakup, but there is literally nothing that has gone on online or behind the scenes that has ever been like exposed, or so people thought, that is the cause of this. Let me just put it like that without really saying and speaking on it, okay? So it's not anything like that. But there definitely are some things in my relationship that were deal breakers. And without speaking on things too much, there are things that were deal breakers for me.
Okay, so now that we've got a little background, what are your thoughts?
Her saying marriage is off the table, I hate to say it, with 9 kids, marriage had never been on the table. I know it sounds harsh, but I mean, most guys aren't going to want to marry a woman who has 1 or 2 kids. I mean, that's most guys. Some of them willing to go that distance, but come on, 9 kids. It's like, gosh, so when I take you out to eat, I got to worry about paying for not only you, but I'm paying for 10 people altogether, not including myself. Gosh darn it.
You're paying for a whole basketball team at that point.
I don't make basketball team money to be paying for a whole basketball team.
I absolutely agree. And I think for her to say that marriage off the table is correct. Just judging by how much baggage she has to deal with. I mean, from watching previous videos, I guess she has 6 different child's fathers that she has to deal with. So I don't know what occurred to where none of those relationships actually worked out. Maybe she just is not very good at picking guys that stick around for the long term. You know, she keeps picking the same type of guy that'll get you pregnant and move on. And so she's lucky enough to at least escape this last relationship without a baby, I feel like.
You know, in some ways, I would have to question, I don't want to say mentally whether she's there, but I would have to question her mental maturity for her to even allow herself to have those many kids and not be married. I mean, most women, maybe 1, 2 kids, then they'd be like, you know what, I'm not having any more outside of wedlock, because it takes not just a large amount of financial support as well as physical support from both parents being there to, as they say, adequately raise a child. And yes, she might be receiving financial support, maybe from YouTube and from child support, but I mean, it doesn't seem like too many of the dads are in the picture. And I could be wrong, maybe they are, but I'm just going by.
We're just going by the video content. You don't see many of the fathers stepping up and coming to pick up the kids like that. And maybe she just doesn't vlog that part, but it's just a situation where, you know, from what it seems, she is the primary caregiver for 8 of her children. And so it sounds like a lot of those guys kind of just ran away from this relationship. But maybe Strong Mommy Chrissy, from the outside, you know, to me, she has a very pretty face and she knows how to put things together. I've seen her videos. Every time she does something, it's beautiful. Like her engagement video, that was like really nice. That's what stood out to me. And I feel like it's unfortunate that it didn't work out. But from what she was saying, it sounds like she's like, oh, well, there are some things I'm not going to deal with. It sounds like he may have just crossed the line. That's just...
Look, I'm just going to be real. I mean, if we was to put her on a scale of 1 to 10, even half a point for every kid that she has. So what, half a point?
So where would you just, if you were to just see her sexual marketplace value without knowing she had 9 children, what would you rate her based off of her looks? And mind you, this is with all her makeup and everything on.
Now, okay, now guys, we're kind of interesting because we will smash chicks that we have no intention of marrying. So if you're asking would she be okay to smash, I mean, after a few drinks I would smash. But I what?
No,
I'm just
go
being
ahead, go
honest.
ahead, go ahead.
After a few drinks, I would smash. I mean, hey, that's how it is. But if you asking if I would marry her, I mean, okay, most time if I'm not under intoxication or whatnot, because getting that buzz or you feeling a little loose, I'll be honest. I'm not saying anything because I'm not trying to sound conceited, say I'm a good looking dude or anything, but I would look at her and I would not give a second look. She would be somebody I would just fly right past, because me, I prefer more of a natural beauty, a woman who doesn't wear a lot of makeup, so I know what I'm getting before I even walk up and really try to build some type of relationship with her. I want to, like, she's wearing these long horse eyelashes. Looks like she might have on some heavy foundation. I'm pretty sure that's some type of wig or weave. It's like, I mean, this, like me, I don't consider myself having a lot of hair, and heck, I'll be honest, I'm using Rogaine, but I think it's a problem if I have more hair than you and you're a chick. It's like, if I have more hair than you and you're not suffering from alopecia or any type of medical thing, I'm like, more
Well,
natural hair.
let me just say this. She's into, that's part of her channel, like displaying the makeup and the wigs. She definitely probably gets like promotion from like obviously doing videos on wigs for certain companies. So I think that's actually smart for her.
Oh,
but
well, okay. Well,
at the same time, when
good.
she wears her natural hair, it's full and it's beautiful. So she has no reason at all to even be wearing these wigs, but she does it for promotional purposes. So
How's her hair looking under this wig right now?
normally when she does wear her natural hair, she has pretty coily hair. I would say it's a lot like your hair. I'm glad you said what you said. I agree with it. I think that marriage is kind of out the window. There's too much baggage. It's just a lot to accept. Any guy coming in's got to accept 9 kids, 6 different baby daddies, and to me that would just create tons of jealousy and problems.
And let's be honest, most women, when a guy comes in, I mean, they want them to support them and their kids. And I mean, 1, 2 kids, like me, 1 kid would probably be the limit for me. 1 kid, I mean, anything over 1 kid, I'm not looking your way. So it's like, I mean, any guy who she actually gets that is willing to marry her, I mean, I can applaud. I'm not going to call him a simp, because I know people probably call me a simp. So I'll be like kettle calling the pot black. But I will applaud him because he's able to do what I wouldn't be able to do. I'll be like, no, it ain't worth it.
But it also calls into question his reasons for doing it, because maybe he financially needed a place to stay. You never know. Some guys will jump on a woman like her, no offense, because she probably would be more willing to accept a guy that would financially need her. Yeah, because I don't know if she's desperate. I think a desperate man would go after her because he needs something.
But at the same time, a desperate woman would accept a man who doesn't have his own.
And I think that there will be, and there probably will be soon, because of her name and her popularity, there's probably going to be another guy that'll want her too. But I think that it's one of those things where maybe she should just stick to dating, because starting like, moving guys in with all your kids, it's a dangerous situation, and it's not always good for them. I mean, look at how many guys those kids have probably had to see all of these years. Those stepdaddies.
In my honest opinion, and this is just me, if she really wants love, I know this sounds bad, but 1, she needs to just meet the guy and keep her kids out of the picture. And when I say keep the kids out of the picture, I'm not saying she can never introduce the guy to the kids, but I'm saying keep them out of the picture. If he has his and she has hers, they need to keep it that way. And I hate to say it, marriage should be like her becoming an astronaut. It's just not even in her mindset. Because I mean, I can't imagine that happening. I could be proven wrong. If it actually happens, then I mean, kudos, and I was proven wrong. Good job. But I just can't see it happening.
As a person with 9 kids, you can't come to the table asking for a whole lot. You can't ask for a guy to come in and play daddy, because that's not fair. Like, most people don't even aspire to have 9 children, let alone 9 stepchildren.
You ask any guy to do that, and most guys will be like, oh, okay, well, you know what? I wined her and dined her, so now it's time to R-head. Retrieve, hit, and dismiss.
That I just couldn't get over. I just couldn't get through. And I tried. But it just is like, a deal breaker is a deal breaker, you know. At the end of the day, Rod is a good guy. He always treated my kids with respect, the utmost respect. He never disrespected them or made them feel uncomfortable. He was always very good to them. It wasn't the worst relationship I've ever been in either. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I just can't see myself getting married again and being with someone and it not working out because there are things that I know I can't get past. Do you understand what I'm saying? Does that make sense? And that would be naive of me to do so. So I really started to evaluate some things within myself, honestly. And that's what made me really realize, okay, I'm not ready to pursue this relationship further. And I'm not willing to pursue this relationship further. And I'm not ready to even think about getting married to someone just yet. I really still have a lot of personal healing and growth I need to do first. Honestly, even though I am completely over my ex, I still have healing, because when you go through something as devastating as what I went through, you still need to get your shit together. You need to pour back into yourself. And I think that I was just worried about, I don't deserve to be alone and I deserve a good guy.
See, we gonna have to stop her. You have the same thought I have on
Well,
that.
not necessarily, because I won't say that nobody deserves a good person, a good mate. But at the same time, you have to be realistic with what you desire from that mate. Because if you're looking for companionship and you're looking for somebody that can help you out when you really need it, I'm pretty sure you can find that. But if you're looking for somebody to finance your life and take care of the many, I won't say mistakes, but the immaturities of your past relationships.
And my thing is, you say that you deserve a good man. Well, you have to be willing to be a good woman. And maybe a lot of men wouldn't look at it as a woman with your stats as a good catch. And you have to be willing to accept that and be willing to probably take your bar down. That may be why she's having such a hard time getting and keeping a guy, because she's worried about having a certain look about things instead of looking at good quality characteristics for a husband. Things like a guy that's good and honest, a guy that's who actually does work and make his own money, so that he's not actually using you or living with you, and maybe a guy who can move you into his home instead of always moving in with you.
And that's why I said, I hate to say it, she got to keep her kids out the equation. And the reason why is because if she has, I know this sounds bad, but if she almost told a guy she has no intention of him meeting her children, and most guys would be like, oh, what's wrong with her? No intention of me meeting her children. Like, what's she trying to say? What's wrong with her kids? But then she explained to him, it's like, no, because I just want to be in a relationship where it's just me and you, and not have you think of anything about me trying to snag you to take care of my kids. She might actually find love, because the reason why most guys avoid dating single moms isn't because they're single, it's because they're a mom, and moms potentially want most guys that they marry to take care of their kids. And some guys can't even take care of their own kids. So it's a little unreasonable, in my opinion, demand that a guy takes care of your kids. Now, if you say like, I'm a package deal, you get me and you get her, and he agrees to that, then that's fine. Now, I guess that is a demand in a way, but it's just a little unreasonable to assume that there are no good guys because they won't take care of you and your kids by another person. That doesn't qualify them as being a good guy. Good guys are simply, in my opinion, ones who value a certain structure, order in life, the ones who takes care of business, as they say. No, they might not be high earners, but what they earn, they make reasonable decisions and do well with it.
Yeah, I guess my thing is on that, she doesn't deserve anything. None of us deserve anything. We are simply humans, and we're here humbly, and we should be grateful for anything that comes our way, because we technically don't deserve anything. Like, none of us have ever really done anything that's deserving of anything when you think about it. We're just here using the earth, taking up space until we pass on and leave this place. So I think she should take the word deserve out of her category and out of her vocabulary when it comes to that kind of thing. Because it's not about what you deserve, it's what you're willing to give too. So if a man wants a wife or a woman in his life, you have to be willing to be that person. And like he said, maybe you should just stick to dating. You can have a separate relationship with a man. He lives in one house, you live in one house, and y'all can live and date and sleep over each other's houses at times. I think that's a possible scenario. But to think that you deserve a dude to come in and take care of your kids, that's not right. You don't deserve a good man because maybe to him, you would not be a good woman based on what you've got going on.
And another thing that just occurred to me is availability. I mean, with you having 9 kids, I mean, I hate to say it, if you find a decent guy who's really willing to stick with you, knowing you have so many kids, because when you have so many kids, that means you have like almost zero time, most guys would think, to even have a relationship.
I would think so. And let's not neglect to mention the fact that her children range from ages 13 to like 3 or 4 years old, maybe even younger than that. I think the youngest might be around my daughter's age, 2 or 3, actually. So, that's kind of a big gap. You've got a teenager and a toddler in the same house.
So that means hardly no spending nights over each other's houses or stuff like that. I mean, maybe they can make it work, but I'm just saying, assuming she's not having anybody help her babysit, it's no spending the night over his house. And me, I'll be honest, if I was a single guy waking up to a bunch of kids making noises early in the morning, and it's like, what? I just had a nice, fun night, but now I got to wake up to this? Oh, man. It's like, I didn't quite sign up for this.
Yeah, that's probably why she can't keep a guy. I mean, it may have been simpler in the beginning had she made better decisions. She could have had a scenario where all of her children could have been by at least 1 or 2 guys, but somewhere along the line, she just got to the point where she's like, I don't know how to work a relationship out. And so instead of trying to, I'm just going to cut it off and then move on to the next guy. But you can't do that forever. You're getting older. Your children are getting older. And it's not fair to them to have to keep seeing all these different people in your life as your man, your husband. I don't know. Anything else you want to say?
Roll the clip.
And even though that is true, even with 9 children, despite what people may try to lead you to believe, I do deserve a good man who's going to come in and do all of the things and have all of the, qualities that I feel like I deserve and that I do deserve and that my children deserve. I just have to be very, very careful. I can't make the same mistakes that I made with my ex, anymore.
Or maybe we're waking up to reality that the reason we were single before is because we weren't looking for the right characteristics in the man that we were dating. We were looking at physical things or how they made us feel in the moment, but we weren't looking for longevity.
But you know what? She kind of said the same thing. So I'm probably, well, let me rephrase that. You're probably going to catch backlash, but she said pretty much the same thing that I said, that it's like, I mean, good guys kind of wouldn't look for a single mom because, I mean, I hate to say it, if they're looking for a woman, they might be able to do better than a single mom. And she's like, well, because we're a single mom, we would be dating guys that we normally wouldn't. So you're saying the same thing. So if you know that, then now that you know kind of idea what your thing is, if you can just somehow separate your children from him and somehow be able to spare him some time, you might be able to find somebody that's willing to be in a relationship, not marriage, but a relationship with you for the long haul.
See, there's hope for strong mommy Chrissy. So all you haters out there, you can definitely find some rocks to kick. And you guys can leave us a comment and definitely tell us what you think. And we will see you next time.